Hello everyone and welcome to the FNCS Uncovered, the ultimate destination for all things Fortnite Championship Series. Today I'm telling you the story of Malibuca and Th0masHD, two of the best players ever who have never won an FNCS. Malibuca started playing in Season 3 of Chapter 1, and just like many other players back then, he was just playing for fun and for the love of the game. He had no idea that one day he would become one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. He would continue to play just for fun, not taking the game too seriously, and then the World Cup was announced. In week 9 of solos, he would actually end up making his first earnings. After making his first earnings, he knew he was better than the average player, so he started grinding and making money in tournaments. In July of 2020, he would make his first final at the Solo Dreamer Cup. He would finish very poorly in 98th place, but that was still $300. The season where Malibuca started to make some improvements was Chapter 2 Season 3, where he would make some money in the Trio Cash Cup, and he also made his for the FNCS. From here, he would continue to place in a few more Cash Cup, and he was able to make money in every session of the Frosty Frenzy. After that, with the help of his brother, he was able to buy a better setup, and this is where he started to shine as a player. In Season 5 of Chapter 2, he made his first appearance in the FNCS Grand Final, finishing 19 overall despite being triple contested. Chapter 2 Season 7 started, and he was looking for a new trio. He would take Shizo and Merstash. Going into the FNCS, they would still land Steamy after qualifying for the finals. They were contested by Mr. Savage, Redguard, and Andretta. He placed 28, while Savage placed 11, but that didn't discourage them. In Season 8, he would have his best season yet, and he would also get his best finish, placing 3rd in the DreamHack finals with Merstash. After competing against Savage and Benji in another FNCS, he would end up in the 7th place, doubling his winnings, while Benji ended up in the 23rd place. This is where Benji fans suddenly started to love Malibuca. Now we are heading into the 3rd chapter, and it has been announced that the main game mode for the rest of the years will be duos. In the first season, they would do well in the Cash Cups, and he would only finish 15 in the FNCS. But Season 2 would be where he would have to make one of the biggest changes in his life. Due to the war going on between Russia and Ukraine, he had to leave his country and parents behind at the age of 16 and moved to Serbia with his brother to earn money. During the same season, he had his best performance, placing 4th in the grand final with Mersash and earning over $60k while he was competing. Now, he was starting to establish himself as one of the best players in the world, even though he still had to prove it. Luckily for him, the biggest third-party tournament Fortnite has ever seen was coming up, the Gamers 8. He would end up winning the event with epic way. Malibuca would end up winning 250k for the event and 100k for being the MVP of the tournament. He was definitely under everyone's radar. Now, after winning his first major, the FNCS was coming up, and it was one of his favorite to win. He didn't disappoint and finished in 2nd place. This qualified him to the FNCS Invitational, in which he will place in the top 16. Going into Chapter 4, Malibuca and Mersash decided to split, and everyone was so confused. This turned out to be one of the best decisions they ever made, as Mersash started playing with Tyson while Malibuca chose Th0masHD. Th0masHD is a true Fortnite veteran, and what's incredible about him is that he's just keep getting better, like a fine wine. Hailing from Denmark, he's always been a top-notch gamer, previously showing off his skills in games like CSGO. Th0masHD's first major tournament was in the 2018 Winter Royale, where he finished in the top 90. When the Fortnite World Cup was announced for 2019, he began to practice in earnest. In fact, he was making money every week during the qualifiers, and he also secured a spot for the duo finals, where he placed at 21st. Right after the World Cup, Fortnite introduced the FNCS, and Th0masHD stepped up his game, dominating week after week until he reached the finals, where he will finish 9th. Throughout the year, Th0masHD, who was playing alongside Cluzy at the time, started placing well in early every tournament, earning a nice stack of cash. In mid-2020, when solo FNCS became a thing, Thomas began to shine ever brighter. He took down several Cash Cups and even managed a 4th place finish in the FNCS Grand Final. From that point on, he formed a trio with Flick and Danas, a trio that would go down in history as one of the best. They won a lot of tournaments and secured 3rd, 2nd, and 4th place in the FNCS Chapter 2 Season 4, 5, and 6. At the start of Season 8, Thomas decided to change up his trio and teamed up with Quizzy and Anas. Together, they owned virtually every tournament in every single region. Their impressive run resulted in an 8th place finish in the FNCS and a solid 3rd place in the FNCS Grand Final. With the arrival of duos in 2022, Th0masHD teamed up with Tyson, and they dominated every competition, finishing 3rd in the FNCS. As Season 2 of Chapter 3 began, Thomas and Tyson decided to part ways. His new duo became Tripper, and they secured another 3rd place in the the FNCS, followed by a respectable 6th place in the next FNCS. At the start of Chapter 4, Malibuca and Th0masHD are officially a duo, and they will win 3 Elite Weekly Cups and place very high in the rest of them. He would also make money in pretty much every week of solos, winning 5 games in one final, setting a world record. During the FNCS, he would finish second again. The next season, he would be one of the favorites to win, but this time they will be contested, and they will still end up placing third, which is one of the best performances ever seen in Fortnite. After the FNCS, they will start focusing on no builds, as 3 DreamHacks were announced. He would end up winning DreamHack Dallas and Sweden with Th0masHD. This gave him a chance to win another Gamersay title, but they only finished 9th. They will also finish 11th in the FNCS Major 3 final. Could we see their first FNCS title in the biggest major after the World Cup? Let me know down below.